Thank you so much for pressing play. You know, every time you press play, it gives me the inspiration to do another video. So I'm already getting the emails. I'm already getting the emails from Kendrick Lamar's Oklahoma uh, from his album, his fifth album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. So already starting to get the emails. People ask me, "Hey, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think?" I'm gonna be really completely honest and transparent with you. It made me cry. I cried. I cried. Yeah, I cried. Um, the album, and let me give you some backstory. So probably weeks leading into the album itself, for some reason I was feeling nervous for this album. I was feeling nervous, almost like getting butterflies for him. Now let me keep in mind. I don't know if you know, but there was a time in my life where I was in a rap group. So I actually wrote an album, did some touring. So I'm coming from an artist standpoint, not just like a fan, but actually from someone who has written an album, recorded an album, and toured that album. So I have some experience on what it takes to make a piece of art, piece of work. So that's the perspective that I'm coming from. So a few weeks leading into the album, a buddy of mine that we chat all the time, I was telling him, man, I'm feeling a little nervous about this album. And it's not like a nervous that, you know, after waiting for 5 years, not hearing from him, that I was like nervous. It was more like butterflies. And I just sensed that he was going to give us something that we may not been ready for, or push us in a place where we've never been before in terms of the culture. And I really couldn't wrap my mind around it, really put words to it. I just sensed or just felt nervous. It was really weird. But anyway, when he dropped the album cover and I saw the album cover with him, his wife, Whitney, and his two kids, in a really stripped down like apartment with he had the wreath over his head, and then he had a gun in his back pocket. Then it began to dawn on me like, wow, this album, the 5 years that he was away, he must have did some serious internal work, therapy, if you will. Like really trying to get himself together. Because as an artist, you want to get back out there, but if you don't have anything to say, you just don't do anything until you kind of, get to that place to have something to say. And he even mentioned that on the album. But anyway, so I saw the album cover and I was like, wow, this is gonna be moving. I can already sense it. It's gonna be a moving album. He's gonna go all the way there. He's gonna strip back all the layers. He's gonna be very vulnerable. So, long story short, I've waited up to 12 midnight. I'm getting tired. I didn't even know that I was gonna be able to stay up, but I ended up staying up. And I mean, right from the first song, I was just like blown away right away. I saw where it was going. And I didn't listen to it with my mind. I listened to it with my heart. I really listened to it because I knew he wasn't trying to stimulate your thinking. He wasn't trying to do all that. He had something to say. He even said it in the beginning, like he had something to say, and he wanted to have a heart to heart with you. So that's where I listened to the album from. I really listened to him from his heart. Like it was like I was having a heart to heart with Kendrick. So I'm listening to it, going through. It's a pretty much a no skip album. Great features. Love the way he used Kodak Black in some of the interludes and some of the song. I don't know, just I guess it was just the texture of Kodak Black's voice. Um, I love how we use that. I love Sampha being on there. Sampha's worked with Drake, Kanye, and Kendrick. But it's good to see him on the album, and just others, Summer Walker, others. But anyway, I get through the whole album, and just the way the themes that he covered, of fatherhood, of marriage, of talking about like things that normally black communities we push under the rug and we don't really talk about it out loud. We really raise to say, hey, don't whatever stays in the house, whatever happens in the house stays in the house, or whatever. But for the first time that I could think of, I don't think I've heard a rapper become this vulnerable about what he's been through as a black man in America and his parents and all those things. He really stripped back. And as someone as myself that has gone through, like therapy and counseling and really big on personal development, self-development, and all those different things, you could tell like someone that does the internal work, um, it resonates with you automatically. So by the end of the album, a tear came down, and just tears. It wasn't just like one tear; it was multiple tears because it was just such a beautiful body of work all the way through, and it touched me. And it literally, like the last song was called Mirror, and it's almost like he almost flipped the mirror back on me, and looking at my life and looking at things that I've gone through that maybe I don't talk about, but Kendrick was so open with it and free. You can tell he's free to talk about, and for real, like I said, I cried. Like, it was a beautiful album. I don't think I've heard an album like this. I've listened to a lot of hip hop over the years. I haven't heard an album like this before. It's a special album. It's only been 12 hours, so I'm still digesting it and still, spending time with it and sitting with it. Um, and one thing I thought about is this album would not be possible without Jay-Z's 444, because it was almost like a confessional album because he was confessing about his infidelities while he was on the road and just things like that. Like I think 444 paved the way for it, and even some of Kanye's like newer stuff of him like kind of like going through a transformation. I think he felt comfortable. You could tell he felt really comfortable to really go all the way there. But I think he took what they did and just kind of like moved the bar so much higher um, for the rest of the culture. And it was a beautiful album. It was very therapeutic. It was a therapy album. It was a therapy album, and I just wanted to share because, like I said, I'm getting so many emails. So I was like, let me just do a video really quick and kind of like get it all out because sometimes I'm not able to get it all out. But anyway, uh, I'll be hanging out in the comments. Let me know if you listened to the album. I'd love to hear your response to the album, what you thought about it. Did you feel the album? That's the thing. Not think about the album. Did you feel the album? Which is a different way of experiencing it. Peace.